So Tableau is a reporting tool basically. So I'm going to discuss about these topics. What is Tableau and what is Tableau architecture, and why do we use Tableau instead of other reporting tools, and why most of the organizations are using this Tableau instead of other reporting tools, and what is in-memory concept in Tableau. And these are some of the basic fundamentals, dimensions and measures, and difference between OLTP and OLTP. So these are the two fundamentals. These are not related to Tableau, not only related to Tableau, but also related to data warehousing and also to the databases. So dimensions and measures, OLTP and OLTP, will also be useful for other technologies as well. So now let's see about what is Tableau. So Tableau is basically a software company. So now it is acquired by Salesforce. So Salesforce, Tableau is one of the part in Salesforce. So Tableau is to help anyone see and understand their data. So we will be having a lot of data, so millions of records. To understand that particular data, we use Tableau as a tool to understand that data. We convert data into visualizations. So any data that you give to Tableau, we can convert into visualizations. Basically, we can make bar charts, line charts, pie. Not only this, we can create n number of different varieties of charts that we can prepare by using Tableau. So I'll just show you sample data. So this is basically the welcome screen. Whenever you open any Tableau desktop, so this is a welcome screen that you see. So this is called as Tableau desktop. So developer will work on Tableau desktop. So there are other products as well. So we will discuss about that. So now let me talk about what is Tableau desktop. So we are going to learn about this Tableau desktop in all our 30 sessions. So this is the prime thing which a developer works on. So we are going to take the data and convert that data into visualization. So I'll just show you how to convert the data into visualization. So Tableau is providing some sample data. So when you go to organizations, they will give their own data. So for practice purpose, we can use the data that is provided by the Tableau. So here you see 3 different data sources: sample EU Superstore, sample Superstore, and world indicators. So I'm just clicking on this. Hope my screen is visible to you all. Is it not visible? Okay. Okay, so I'll just show you the data. So this is how data looks like. So basically this is sample Superstore data. So whenever we go to any Superstore, so our records will be stored in that particular Superstore. So let's say Darren Powers. So this customer went to this Superstore and he has purchased some products. So these are the products that is being purchased by, let's say, Aaron Bergman. So this person has purchased these products. So all these products purchased by this person, and so there are some details that are also entered in the name of that person. So you can also see where is the location of that particular Superstore and what is the order ID. So there are some, so this purchase has been made in some day and the other purchases are made in different days. And when you see the same order ID, that meaning, so the same person has purchased at the same time. So this way, let's say if we go to any Superstore, when we make any purchase of any 10 products, so there will be 10 line items will be added into the database of that particular Superstore. So we are going to monitor how many purchases are happening in that particular Superstore. So this is how the data is getting stored. So basically this particular information will have the information of customer name and what are the products that are being purchased by that particular customer, and what is the sales amount, and what is the profit that we are getting from that particular product, and what is the discount that they are providing for each and every product. So all this information will be stored. And with that information, we will be able to know how many number of customers who are coming to the superstore. So let's say this is a whole lot of data, and this has 10,000 records. So in this 10,000 records, I want to find out how many number of customers that are came to the this particular superstore. So if I want to do that, so I'll just drag the customer name into the rows. So it will show me the list of customers. So these are the 800 customers. So in that particular superstore, I have 800 customers who came already. So this way I can find out the count of customers. So I'm just showing you what Tableau can do. So in coming session, I will tell you how to create the worksheets, how to create the charts and all, by step. I'm just giving an overview of how charts can be built. So I'll just take region. So I have customers from different regions. So Superstore is not only at one location. So let's say if you take More or if you take DMart, so it is not at one particular location. It will be expanded in different locations and different regions. So I want to see how my sales getting performed in different regions. So if you see, so this is how you can sort it. So you can sort ascending order and descending order here. And within a click, I can just make the data into visualization. So within a click, I can make a data into visualization. So on the right hand side, you can see show me button here. So with this show me button, so I have taken region and sum of sales here. So with that, I'm gonna create. So whatever charts that are enabled, all these charts can be built on this particular data. So if I click on pie chart and make it entire view and show the labels, and it will also put region in the label. Yeah, so this way I can identify. So instead of seeing the data in tabular format, I can visualize the data in a pie chart so that it is simpler, or it is easy to identify, or it is easy to remember in the form of visualizations. So if I show the same data in a cross tab, so it is very hard for me to remember these numbers, or how it is aligned and everything. So, and human brain can remember visualizations rather than a tabular format. So this way we can create visualizations in single clicks. So not only a pie chart. So if I click on a bar chart, so I can, yeah. So with this, I can identify West region has the highest sales and South region has the lowest sales. And I can color each and every region with a different color. So within small clicks, I can do any kind of visualization. So this is called as bar chart and this is pie chart. So it is very tough to understand. So what is the region sales and what is the, so if I want to understand which region has the highest sales and which region has the lowest sales, so it is very tough for me to understand based on this particular data. So let's say here, if I go into here, so this is the region column I have. So there are 10,000 records. So each region is repeated multiple times. So if I want to know how many regions are there, so it's very tough. So I need to manually check, or I need to create some visualization in Excel or anything. But in Tableau, it is very easy. If you just drag that particular region column, so you will be able to see how many regions are there and what is the sales amount of it. So what it is doing is basically it will just take the region rows. So let's say if I sort it here, so these are all my central rows. And if I go to the sales, and this will sum up all my records. So let's say this is my region. and south. And this is my sales. So when I want to see what is the south region sales, so what Tableau is doing is it is just taking the sum of it, which is 1300. So in the same way, even if it has millions of records, so it will directly take how many times that particular region is getting repeated, how many sales are there. So those many rows will get summed up and it will show you the total. So to create the same thing in SQL or Oracle, so you have to be writing a query. So let me just show you what query you need to write in SQL. Select region, comma sum of sales from Superstore, group by region. So without writing any queries and all, so you don't need to learn any coding for this. You don't need to have any prior coding knowledge to learn Tableau. So you just need to learn how this tool works and how to operate this tool. So this is a query that runs behind the Tableau. So that is called, so this Tableau uses one more technology called Vizql, which is Visual Query Language. So this basically converts data into visualization. So if we provide data, it will convert data to visualization. So basically I have given this data, and if I click on this, any particular, if I want to create a bubble chart, I can create. If I want to create a map chart, I can create. So like this, I can identify. So here the representation is different. So by using the intensity of the color, I can identify which region has the highest sales. And if you see for south, the intensity of the color is very low. And for west, east, it is brighter. And for west, it is more brighter because it has the highest sales. And central, it is minimal. So this way you can identify by using map charts. So we'll just go one by one. I'm just giving an overview. So what Tableau can do. So in coming sessions, I will tell you step by step how this is happening and what are these fields and what is blue pill, what is green pill, what is dimensions and measures. So we'll go one by one. So now let's go back to the introduction of Tableau. So Tableau can help anyone see and understand their data. So the word Tableau is derived from a French word called tableaux. So it is derived from a word called tableaux, which is also called as a pictures or images. And Vizql is a patent query language for Tableau. So it has a patent query language, so which converts any data into visualizations. So it is a combination of SQL and descriptive language. SQL plus descriptive language. So any chart that we build in Tableau, so that will be in the backend, a query will be running in the backend. So that query is the same query that I have shown here. So in the backend, it will write a query. So, but that will be taken care by the Vizql. So you don't have to write any coding as such. So you just need to drag the columns that you need. You just need to drag the dimensions of the measures that you need and the charts that you want to select. And Tableau will automatically do it for you. So what kind of chart that you want to develop, you can select from the show me, or there are steps to create different other charts. So these are the 24 charts that are directly provided by the Tableau. So apart from those 24 charts, we will be creating more different charts. So there are steps to create very different charts as well. So we will be discussing that as well. And now let's discuss about Tableau architecture. So in Tableau architecture, we mainly have four things: application server, Vizql server, data server, and gateway. So application server. So before I explain this Tableau architecture, so I will just tell you about Tableau desktop and Tableau server. So hope you now understand what is Tableau Desktop. So this is what is Tableau Desktop, where we create our visualization, where we connect to the data. So let me just click on this. So this is where we can provide the data to the Tableau. So as of now, we have connected to the sample data, which is provided by the Tableau itself. But if you go to the organizations, they will be providing you the server names, or they will be providing you the text files or Excel files, or the data that they have. So here we can connect to multiple data sources. So Tableau will allow us to connect to multiple different data sources. So the advantages of having Tableau is, so it can connect you to any number of data sources. And when you compare with the Power BI, so Power BI can connect to only Microsoft tools. So it cannot connect to other different tools. So it can connect to only Microsoft SQL, only to the, it is limited to only to that space. But in Tableau, we have a lot of options. So we can connect it to any database. So most of the time we use Oracle, and we might use SQL Server. So so they will be providing you the details of the server name and authentication. So they will be providing you the username and password. So, and once they provide you that, so it will be showing you what schema you have to select and what tables you have to select. So once you connect or once you connect to the table, so it will be looking like this as well. So you can see the data in that particular tables also like this. But in real time, you will be having some millions of records. So this is about Tableau Desktop. So once you create anything in the Tableau Desktop, so once you create anything in the Tableau Desktop, you have to publish those things to the Tableau server. So why do we have to publish in Tableau server? So Tableau Desktop is a local version. So it will be in your PC. So whatever you develop or whatever you create, that will be restricted to you in your PC itself. So it will be in your local machine. But if you want to share it to the users, so you have to publish it to the Tableau server. Publish to the Tableau server. So assume this is like a image or picture in your mobile. Let's assume this as an image or picture in your mobile. So, and Tableau server, assume it as a social website like Insta, FB, etc. And publish to the Tableau server, meaning so if you have images in your mobile or in your computer, so if you want to show them to the users, or if you want to show to someone else, what we do, we post images to the social media or social website. In the same way, in our organization, what we do, we publish it to the Tableau server so that everybody can access the dashboard that you have prepared. So Tableau server is a medium where users can access your dashboard. So once you prepare anything, so if you want to share across your organization people, to your manager or to your users or to your stakeholders, we publish to the Tableau server so that everybody can access. So this will be like a browser link. So it will be like a browser link only. So they will be accessing through any of the browser, Chrome or any browser they can access. So everybody will be having their own access, and they can log into that and they will be able to see the dashboard that you have built. Okay, so Tableau architecture meaning, so it will be having who has to have the access for the dashboard. So once you publish to the Tableau server, there we can restrict who has to have the access to what all dashboards. Let's say if I have published 10 dashboards, if I have published 10 dashboards, And in my organization, I have some 100 people. I don't want 100 people to see my 10 dashboards. So I will restrict the data, or I will restrict some of the dashboards. Let's say 5 dashboards, I will give access to 50 people. And some other 2 dashboards, I will give only to some CEO or to the managers, let's say only for 10 people. So like that, I can give the restrictions. So I restrict the data or restrict the dashboards who can see. So I can do some restrictions. So that is being done by application server. So that's why I have explained you about Tableau server. So now, so in Tableau server, you can give some restrictions. So if you have some 10 dashboards, you can restrict who can see what all dashboards. So that is been taken care by the application server. So application server is responsible for handling user requests and managing sessions and providing access to published visualizations and data sources. So this is basically called as visualizations. So whatever we have built, so these are all called as visualizations. So we can publish visualization as well as this data source. So this is basically the sample superstore data source, which has been provided by the Tableau. So we can also publish the data source as well. So we can restrict what a user can see by using application server. And so we'll discuss about Vizql server as well. So Vizql is basically which converts data into visualizations. So this is basically the information which is being provided, or so we are doing it in the local machine, but in the Tableau server also. So this process has to happen. So data to be converted to the visualization. So that is been taken care by the Vizql server. So once you publish, so the data will be converted into visualization by using Vizql server. And data server will be taking care of managing the data sources. So you can connect to any SQL server or Oracle or any particular databases. So all this data things will be carried out by the data server. And gateway is responsible for maintaining or managing the providing access to the data sources, and it facilitates data connections and data retrieval, allowing users to access and analyze the data within Tableau desktop or Tableau server. So this will maintain or manage the access to the data sources. Gateway, access to the data sources. And this will also work like a load balancer. Load balancer meaning, let's say 10 people logging to the same URL at the same time. So it will just distribute the load to the 10 people at the same time. At the same, let's say I have some 100 units of power or capacity. Let's say 10 people are logging in. So it will give 10 units of capacity to each of the person. So when the load is more, it will equally distribute. So it will not be like for one person it will give you more capacity and for the other person it will give you less. It will not be like that. So gateway will work as a load balancer and authentication as well. So are you the right person or not? So it will check the username and password. So whether this person, let's say Raju and his password. So when he's try to access the dashboard. So gateway is the basic thing. It will check whether this person has the access to the dashboard or whether this person has the access to the Tableau server or not. So gateway will check all these things. So then only it will let that particular user log into the server. So authentication will be taken care by the gateway. and routing SSL encryption high availability. Based on this, so SSL encryption is also related to the authentication itself. So user can log in instead of entering their username and password also directly they can log in with single sign-on. So single sign-on will directly take our system credentials and automatically log in with that. So these are the main 4 functions in Tableau architecture. So we'll be having application server, which will take care of the managing the sessions, or it will take care of the access to the published visualization. So once we publish some 10 dashboards, who has to access those 10 dashboards, we can limit that. So that will be taken care by the application server. And Vizql server, which converts data into visualization. And data server will take care of all these data things: data warehouse, data mart, files, cubes, Oracle, SQL, any type of databases will be handled by the data server. And gateway is the main thing, whether that particular user has the access to the server or not. So it is like a entrance for the Tableau server. So if that particular person has the access, then only it will let the user log into the Tableau server, and then he can able to see the dashboards or the any visualization. And it will also take care of load balancing as well. So it will distribute the load equally to everyone. So I'll just take a pause if you have any questions. So I'll just ask few questions. You can just type in the comments. All of them can type in your answers in the comments. So can you all tell me about what is Vizql? So you can just type in the comments. I'm waiting for your comments. What is Vizql? What it can do? Am I audible? Hello? Okay, I'm still waiting. So basically it's converting, thank you, Srinivas. Yeah. Yeah, so I want this session to be interactive. So I'm just asking the question so that I will understand that you are following the sessions. And even if you have any questions, you can, I'll just take some pause in between so that if you have any questions, you can ask. Okay, yeah, perfect. So converting data into visualization is called as Vizql. So this is a patent query language. So thank you, Srinivas, Sushma, Amit, and Sneha for responding. So let's continue to the next topics. So why Tableau? So why do we use Tableau? So we use Tableau for powerful analytics. So Tableau gives you powerful analytics to ask deeper questions and deliver more meaningful answers. So within seconds, within fraction of seconds, we can create multiple visualizations with the data. So let's say if I take any particular data, so in 10,000 records, it will be very tough for me to understand how many cities are there, how many countries are there. So if I just drag this particular country, So I will be able to know there are only 2 countries in this particular thing. And if I drag city, so I will be able to know how many cities are there on that. And let's drag state and let's see how the sales is getting performed in all the states. So you can just go to show me and just click on this map chart, and you can see the intensity of color is more in California. So you can say that California is having more sales. And we see in most of the states, the sales is very less. And only in this particular state, Texas and New York and in Washington, you can see some brighter color. And apart from that, you can see from other states, you have the sales is in thousands. But in Washington and in New York, you can see in lakhs. The sales is in lakhs. With that, we can. So this is called as a powerful analytics. Not only this, we can have multiple different varieties of functions that we have. So we will discuss that in coming sessions. So these are the different functions. So analytical functions that we have. So with these functions, we can create different varieties of charts and different varieties of calculations. So we don't have coding as such, but we have to learn some 30 to 40 functions. 30 to 40 functions. And we also have to learn if-else statements and case statements. So only these 3 are mandatory for Tableau. So if you want to create any calculations, so we have to have the knowledge of this one. So yeah, this is very simple. So we'll discuss step by step. So how to write if-else statement and how to write case statement and how to use these 30 to 40 functions in if and case statements. So that is about powerful analytics. So fast adaptation at scale. So now most of them are using this Tableau. So when you go to any organization, so it is easy to connect with Tableau server. So any data or any database that you are using. So most of the users are using Oracle and SQL Server. If some users are using any different database, so they can connect to any different databases. So these are the different varieties of databases that are available. Google Cloud SQL, even it can connect to PDF file as well. So like this, you can connect to any number of databases. So in AWS also, we have this Redshift, Amazon Redshift. So it can connect to Amazon databases as well. So most of the databases can be connected to Tableau. So that is why we use Tableau instead of other tools. And it fits your environment. So basically it can connect to Windows machine, it can connect to Linux machines, Mac OS, and you can use the data that is stored in on-premises or in the cloud. So you can use that. So I'll just give a brief introduction about what is on-premises. So there are some newcomers in the session. So I'm just give a brief about what is on-premises servers and cloud servers. So on-premises servers are basically maintained physically at your organization. So let's say these are your on-premises server. So let's assume this as a on-premises server. So this will have some TBs of data. So with this, we'll connect to our computers. So with this, we'll connect to our computers. So all the computers can connect to this physical server. So this server is physically maintained by our organization. So this is called as on-premises. On-premises server, and this is maintained by our organization. Yeah. And I'm just giving you three monitors here, but you can connect to any number of computers. So this way we can connect to different our computer can be connected to different servers. So this is one of the on-premises server. So here where we can install Tableau server or Oracle server. So this is the place where we can install Tableau server or Oracle server, or any of the technology related stuff we can install here, and we can use it. We can connect to this particular server, and we can access from our local computers. And apart from this maintaining the physical servers, so now the companies are using cloud servers, so which is not physically available at our location. So this will be maintained, so we can access through cloud. So can you all type in what are the cloud servers that are available? So can you all type in the comments? So what are the cloud servers which are available? And we can access this particular cloud server through online. So through online only we can connect to. So this is some internal networking. We can connect to the server, and cloud can be connected to by online. So can you all type in what are the cloud servers that are available? Yeah, perfect. So we have AWS, Azure. So most of the this is been maintained by Amazon, and this is maintained by Microsoft. So these are the cloud servers that we can access, and we can connect. We can install our Tableau related or any database related technologies we can install in the this particular cloud server. Or if the organization is maintaining physical servers, then you can install it here. So it depends on organization to organization whether they are using it on premises or cloud. So Tableau can access, or Tableau can connect to your data which is stored in on premises and which is stored in cloud. So in both environments, we have this. We can use this Tableau. So it fits your environment. So whatever environment that you are using in your organization, so it fits your environment. So even if you are using Windows or Linux machines or Mac OS, or if you are using on-premises or cloud, so it can connect to any database, and it can handle mission critical platform as well. When data is critical to your business, so your analytics platform needs to be secure, governed, and scalable. So this is very secure. So and it is scalable. So it will tell you how many GB of RAM that you need to have. So if mostly this particular Tableau server or Tableau desktop performance depends on the RAM, because it uses a concept called in-memory concept. So what it does is it will compress the data. It will compress the data and store in the RAM. So if you connect to any data in Tableau, let's say you have connected to Oracle and you have connected to some millions of records. So that millions of records will be compressed and stored in the RAM. So that every time when you drag something, so let's say when I'm taking any particular column. So I can see the data instinctively. So I can just within seconds I can see that particular column and what is the information that is available in the in that particular column. So how that is coming? Basically, it is stored in my computer RAM itself. So it is not hitting the as it is not hitting the Oracle or any server. So if you hit the Oracle or SQL server, there it has to run some particular query and there it has to fetch the data. So it will be time taking. So once this is getting stored in the RAM, so that becomes easy for Tableau to fetch the data. So that is what is in-memory concept, where it will compress the data and store the data in the RAM. So it is the same concept which is for Tableau server as well. So this is Tableau desktop. So in my Tableau desktop, depending on my RAM, my system's RAM, I am able to see the data quickly. And the prerequisite for to install Tableau is, so your system must have 8 GB RAM to install Tableau. So then only you can install even if you have 4 GB as well, but it will be a little bit slow compared to 8 GB RAM. And it's good if you have a RAM more than greater than or equal to 8 GB. And the Tableau server, depending on your data size, you can have the size of the RAM in the Tableau server. So Tableau server will be installed in on-premises server or in the cloud service. So with that, we can handle, and this has been monitored and this has been gone. And scalable meaning we will be able to know, let's say you have some 100 GB of data. And if you want to handle that 100 GB of data, so you need to decide how much RAM you need to have in the Tableau server. So it is scalable. So you can identify what type of data you have and what type of RAM that you want to maintain. So we can adjust accordingly. If you have more data, you can increase the RAM of the Tableau server. Sorry, RAM of the RAM of your computer or the server that you're using. And from compliance and security management and monitoring, Tableau offers a robust suite and built-in capabilities to support the needs of your business. And Tableau also gives the ability to integrate with systems you have already put in. So it is easy to integrate with other tools. Let's say if you have some Microsoft SQL Server or Oracle or AWS Redshift, any cloud servers or anything. So it is easy to integrate with those systems. And connection through collaboration, Tableau is the most powerful, secure, and flexible. And end-to-end analytics. So end-to-end analytics is basically, so let's say you have data. So data in any server like SQL, Oracle, etc. So you connect the data to the Tableau desktop, create visualizations, publish to the server, and the end user will use this. So this is called as end-to-end operation. So basically data will be provided by the customers, and once the data is provided, we will be analyzing that particular data and what kind of charts that we need to build, we need to analyze that. So we will be having, so in the organization, this will be the structure. So Tableau developers will be there and database developers, and we will be having business analysts. So database developer will clean the data and do some ETL operations, which is extract, transformation, and load. So he does some ETL operation, and he will be giving us the cleaner version of tables. Which we can connect to Tableau. And then our work starts. So before that, business analyst will analyze the data, and he will create a wireframe. So wireframe is nothing but, I'll just give you a brief about wireframe. So let's say I have a data of I have name and salary. So I have this data and $500, $600, $700, $800. Let's assume this as a simple data. So I'm just saving this file. So I'll just show you how to connect Tableau to a simple Excel file. So I'll just say, so business analyst will look into this data. So he'll just see and he will decide what chart is right for this particular thing. So he'll just so there is no cleaning of this data. So it looks very clear. So we have the columns visible. So we don't have any null values or we don't have any blank values. So there is no need to clean this data. So we don't need any database developer help here. So this we can directly connect to the Tableau. So I'm just connecting this to Tableau. So desktop. So I'm just clicked on that particular connect to data source. So here you can see the data coming to the Tableau. So Tableau will automatically identify what column is what. So it will be identifying what is dimension and what is a measure. So we'll discuss in the coming slides what is dimension and measure. So basically I'm able to see the data here. So what a business analyst will tell us is, so basically we have to create a visualization with this particular data. And he will analyze and he will say that a bar chart looks good for this particular thing. Why? Because we have some names and we have the salary, and we will be able to identify the salary, which person has the highest salary and all. That we can identify easily by using a bar chart. So he will suggest us to create a bar chart, and we can align like this. So he will tell us what colors that even if it is needs any colors, or so let's say the design wise. So you can see this person has $700 of sales, and you can identify with this axis as well. So if this person has $80, you can see from this. But he will tell you whether you have to show the numbers on top of this, or your customers can also tell you that whether you have to show the numbers on top of the bars or not. So this will be depending on the requirements. So as a Tableau developer, it is good to show the numbers on top of the bars so that it is visible. I'm just giving a example of a wireframe. So basically he will tell us to create a bar chart kind of thing. So he will create a sample bar chart and he will create a document for this. So this is the data which is available. And with this data, so we can create a bar chart. So he'll take the sample bar chart from anything and he will create a wireframe, and he will tell us to create by using this data, prepare a bar chart. So then we will have to connect to this particular Excel file and start building the charts. So I'm just giving a classic example by taking 2 columns, but in real time you will be having hundreds of columns and millions of records. So the wireframe size will be more. I mean, the design, the number of charts will increase, and the number, not only bar chart, he will tell you to create a different variety of chart, waterfall chart, donut chart as well. So like this, different varieties of charts he will suggest. So that is the duty of a business analyst. So once business analyst tells you what to do, so you have to start working on that by connecting to the data and start building the visualizations. So this business analyst will interact with DB developers, Tableau developers, and with the stakeholders. So most of the times what happens is, so all this, even like if your experience is getting increased and increased, you might be taking this activity as well. So you have to interact with the DB developers, and as yourself is the Tableau developer, you don't have to interact with anyone, and you should be able to, as Tableau is the phase of the tool, I mean phase of the end product. So stakeholder will see your dashboard. So whatever the dashboard that you have built and what is the end product. So it is good. Tableau developer directly interacts with the stakeholders. So TB on everything is in the backend. So they don't really interact with the stakeholders. So as a Tableau developer, it is good to interact with the stakeholders and understand what is the output that they are expecting. So in most of the organizations, they maintain business analysts, but if they do not, you can Tableau developer will only take care of all these activities. So that is about mission critical platform and all. And so Tableau has different varieties of products. So yeah, so I'll just take a pause here. So if you have any questions, so you can just ask. And meanwhile, I will also ask few questions. What is gateway? So you can type in your questions. So you can type in your answers in the comments. What is gateway? Okay, so gateway is the one of the main thing where user can log into the Tableau server. So it will check the authentication whether that particular user has the access to the Tableau server or not, and it will also act as a load balancer, and it will assign load equally. It will distribute the load equally to each and every person. So that is about gateway, and Tableau has different products. So Tableau has Tableau Desktop, which we have discussed earlier. So Tableau Desktop is the one where we develop all the reports by connecting to the data sources like Excel or PDF or any Oracle or SQL servers. And Tableau Prep is a different tool altogether. And we have different developers for Tableau Prep as well. So this is basically to perform ETL operations. So whatever ETLs operations that we can do in SQL or Oracle and any database, we can perform the same things in ETL, I mean Tableau Prep. So this is a different tool altogether. So if there is a different course for Tableau Prep. So our course is only related to the Tableau Desktop. So now let's go to Tableau Server. So Tableau Server is the platform where we publish our reports so that users can access. So as we discussed, it has on-premises or cloud-based servers. So Tableau Server also has online as well. Tableau Online is also available. So you don't have to have any AWS or uh, Azure kind of servers. So Tableau also maintaining a cloud-based server, which is a Tableau Online. So it is a hosted version of Tableau server. So we have Tableau server and Tableau online. So Tableau server, where you can install Tableau server in your cloud based thing or in the on-premises. So that is being maintained by our organization itself. But Tableau online is directly maintained by the Tableau website. So Tableau online is maintained by the Tableau software company. Okay, so that is about today's topic. So we have 3 more slides. So we will discuss this tomorrow. So meanwhile, if you have any questions from today's session, so you can ask or we can wrap the session. Okay, then thank you all for joining. I will share this video in the YouTube and I'll publish this in the YouTube and I'll share the link in the group so that you can watch later if you want. And yeah, so there will be 30 sessions. So 30 hours of sessions will be there. So with that, we will be able to cover all the Tableau topics. Thank you. Thank you all for joining.